Who's your favorite NFL player, dude?
Gus Frerotte. My dude went 6-2 with the Vikings when Tavares Jackson went down.
No one in the world can keep a straight face. Play cooks.
David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, Ezekiel Elliott. Gonna do what Kaepernick did last week. Nothing. Kaepernick had a great game last week. And Andrew Luck, Cam Newton, Dak Prescott.
My favorite wide receiver in this game is Vance McDonald. My name's Gabe.
Ooh, I like that.
Start quarterbacks.
All right, who's your first favorite quarterback?
My first favorite quarterback is Matt Ryan. I like Matt Ryan. He's good.
He is good. I do think he's a solid player. He's got a good matchup. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league. What do you think about Ben Roethlisberger this week?
I hate Ben Roethlisberger. He screwed me over last week by scoring like 2.
Well, here's the thing. Ben Roethlisberger is matchup-proof. Cincinnati's defense.
Not last week.
Well, I mean, you're still a matchup-proof player. I mean, Drew Brees had a bad week. But
fair enough. Okay.
I mean, but he does have a good matchup. They're ranked 24th against quarterbacks.
Bounce back week for Roethlisberger.
And then your love interest, Alex Smith, going against the Titans, who are ranked dead last against quarterbacks.
Say no more. Alex Smith. Number 11.
I'm going to say 15 to 17 fantasy points for Alex Smith this week. Eli Manning going against Detroit, 25th against quarterbacks. He's at home.
You like Eli Manning?
I do like Eli Manning this week.
I love Kaepernick this week. I know you're going to get mad at me and stuff and be like, oh, Gabe, you suck. Oh, gosh, blah, 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 blah. But I like Kaepernick because he's facing off against Atlanta and Atlanta's defenses. You know how bad Atlanta's defense is. They're terrible.
Drew Brees going to daily fantasy here.
Because you know you're going to start him if you have him, but daily fantasy, we love Drew Brees.
Because he's going to be cheaper than he's been all season long, and he's going to be low-owned because of his 0 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in the last 2 games. He is a matchup.
Yeah, I love his news story. It's like, is Drew Brees terrible now? It's like, no, he's really good. And what are you doing? Why are you...
I didn't catch that news story.
I saw a bunch of them on Twitter. I don't know where you're...
They're going against the Cardinals. They're doing pretty well against quarterbacks this season. But, as I said, Drew Brees is matchup proof. I think he'll get back at it this week. All right, Cam Newton and his cousin, or Kirk Cousins, going at it against each other this week.
Captain Kirk. Well, that's a good game for both quarterbacks.
51.5 point total.
We'll take that one.
There.
Yep.
Both those quarterbacks, great plays. Not a fan of Matthew Stafford this week.
Come on, he got the Michael Jackson white glove.
He switched gloves more than 4 times last game.
It's like wardrobe
malfunction.
Well, like what's the?
He's got a torn.
Between two
he's
options?
got a torn ligament in. I think it's this finger.
I got a big bold prediction. Matthew Stafford comes out this week wearing a black glove.
You're going with the bold prediction, black glove?
Yes, the black glove. And he throws for 800 yards.
Oh, whoa.
Right, maybe not 800
bold prediction
yards,
on that
like
one.
799.
But no Stafford this week. Not a fan. Torn ligament in the thumb. Yeah. I think they're going to run the ball a little bit more because of that.
Let's go running backs. Running backs we like. Guys we like. Running backs.
That play the running back position. Here we go. I think David Johnson, he's as my guy John Gruden would say. Yeah,
I'll tell you something. David Johnson plays football for the Arizona Cardinals. I'll tell you something about David Johnson. He's a guy, fighter to Y banana. All right, now. All right.
Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson.
Okay,
obviously,
let's just stop this. LaShawn McCoy's my stud. Let's move on to
David
guys
Johnson's my running back of the week, highest scoring running back of the week.
He's the best fantasy player this year, man. Geniuses.
Bilal Powell this week. If Matt Forte is out, Powell's going to be great.
I like that. I'm just going to list some running backs here that I think are like decent. They're just going to quickly.
You would do that.
Just quickly go through.
Okay, do that.
Latavius Murray, Carlos Hyde against Atlanta. Both Atlanta running backs.
Yeah, the question is which one. I don't think they're both going to have.
I think San Francisco's bad enough for them to both have a big week.
They are bad enough.
I think they're, yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
They're about it.
I only think it's going to be one or the other.
Let's talk. Oh, okay. Well, here's two guys. We'll just throw in Kenneth Farrow and Ty Montgomery.
Okay, those can be your plays of the week. Kenneth Dixon, after 8 receptions
You
last
don't like
week.
Farrow against Oakland?
There's better plays out there. Kenneth Dixon, 8 catches last week against a good Patriots defense.
Kenneth Dixon.
I mean,
I think he's going to be good going forward. That's the guy you want on your roster if you're in a dynasty
if he's still
league.
out there, pick his ass up. There's no
and
doubt
then
about
and then next year, think about drafting him maybe.
Well, we can worry about when next year comes. Let's talk about wide receivers.
Receivers we like. We both
Great
like Jordy
call last
Nelson.
week on Robbie Anderson, by the way.
Thanks.
Him and Bryce Petty have a nice little love affair going on there. He's led the team in targets back-to-back weeks.
Yay, we're both backups. Yay!
Brandon Marshall's
get to
basically washed up now.
Dude,
Smith
he
or
got
Ryan.
destroyed in that bet with Odell. Oh, no, with Antonio
Brown.
Yeah.
If they officially
destroyed.
made that bet, he's going to have to start buying a new car. Deshaun Jackson, he's going to have another long touchdown this week. 50-plus yards.
How can defenses not cover him? It's like, oh, here's the really fast guy. Just put a safety over the top.
Okay, here's the problem. When he goes deep every play, I mean, you can only do it so many times.
I mean, it's like you're the Eagles. You've had the guy. You've played against the guy because he was on your team. It baffles me how he can have a long touchdown every week. And
You do
no
seem
team's
baffled. You do seem baffled.
I am just. That's called being baffled, man.
Taylor Gabriel, regardless of Julio Jones' status this week, I think Taylor Gabriel is going to do well again.
I agree. I think he's a good play. He's super fast and he used to play for the Browns.
If you have to choose one or the other,
Yeah.
Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, which one are you going with? Amari Cooper lit up the Chargers for 136 yards and a touchdown first time they played this season, but Casey Hayward's going to be on Cooper this game.
I think Chargers are good enough to make an adjustment, and Crabtree probably has a better game.
You think Crabtree has a better game?
That's my opinion.
Yeah. What a laughable question.
Laughable in nature, that question.
Stephon Diggs.
You're welcome.
The return. Well, I mean, he played last week, but he only had a couple catches. He had that nice little diving catch against the Jags last week. But with a matchup against the Colts, against wide receivers, I think Stephon Diggs is going to have a good week.
I like Stephon Diggs too.
I
got a little caveat. Thielen's had 5 straight really great weeks.
And he's still participating in No Shave November.
It's not November anymore.
Well, but he's still participating.
That's good. It's a good cause. I think he's if you need a guy, you should start him probably because they're gonna have to throw against Indianapolis.
So rumor has it, through the grapevine over there, that you like Tyreek Hill this week.
I love Tyreek Hill this week.
I'm not a huge fan of Hill this week because of the return of Jeremy Maclin. I don't think Macklin's going to do a lot, but I do think it's going to cut into some of the numbers.
I think Maclin, the return of Maclin is. I think it's overblown. I think Hill is their
what does that
guy
even
now.
mean? Overblown.
He's almost the face of. He's become the face of their franchise almost in
That's.
He's such an exciting
I
player.
think Andy Reid's more of a face of the team than Tyreek Hill.
Because his face is so big, it blots out the other faces.
Basically. Let's not talk bad about Andy Reid. He's such a good guy. Yay, 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 yay. Go to tight ends.
Tight ends.
Who is your favorite tight end play of the week?
I like Greg Olsen and Jordan Reed playing against each other, but I also like. Why are you saying sure?
Keep going.
All right. I really like Gates against Oakland, Kelsey against Tennessee. I'm not super excited about any of these guys.
I think Cameron Brate has another good matchup against the Dallas Cowboys, who are ranked 26th against tight ends.
Brate rhymes with great.
Ranked 26th against tight ends. Greg Olsen going against the Redskins, ranked 27th against tight ends. He's obviously one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Therefore, we're going to play Greg Olsen.
All right.
Martellus Bennett, though.
Oh, I got to talk about my guys too.
The pass defense for the Broncos is first against wide receivers, and it's.
But you think that Martellus Bennett is going to be able to do it against them?
It's 10th against tight ends. I do think Martellus Bennett's going to have a big game against them.
Not as good against tight ends.
Not as good. Now, I think they're going to focus more of their energies on the likes of Hogan, Edelman, Mitchell.
Chris Hogan, I'm not
saying Chris Hogan is, the guy.
Thanks, Brady.
Not saying he's the guy, but they're still going to focus a little more of their attention there. And Martellus Bennett's a pretty big feller.
He's a big fella. I want to talk about Ladarius Green and Will Tye.
Oh, again, Ladarius Green had a great week last week with 2 catches on, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 25 yards.
If you need a guy this week and you want to take a risk, I think Ladarius Green is a good risk to take. Okay. And then also I think Will Tye. Will Tye is going to finally lumber into the end zone against the Lions. I'm calling it.
Will Tye.
Will Tye. He will score a touchdown.
Okay. There's 32 starting tight ends in the NFL. And Will Tye has made your list of like 4 people.
Number 1, he has a great nickname potential. So locks of the week as far as picks go, if you're in a survival pool, what are you thinking here?
Minnesota over Indianapolis. Minnesota's got a good defense. Indianapolis has a bad defense, and they both have good offenses and both have shitty offensive lines.
I think Minnesota's offense isn't a good offense.
I think they're pretty solid. When the offensive line shows up, Sam Bradford plays great.
Yeah, but they don't show up.
Well, but neither does the Colts offensive line.
Right,
Both offensive lines
suck. Bradford's thrown 3 picks the entire year. So.
And he's second in the league in completion percentage behind your boy,
Drew Brees.
And then my other lock of the week, Giants over Lions. Matthew Stafford, as I mentioned, he hurt, I think, this finger. And the Giants are at home.
Giants are on fire.
And the Giants están fuego. So I'm going with the Giants.
See. I like Washington at home over Carolina. Josh Norman gets his revenge. And I also like Dallas at home over Tampa because Dallas is not that bad of a team to lose 2 in a row.
Quick question here. Does Tony Romo see the field before the season is over?
Because Dak gets hurt, yes.
You think Dak will get hurt?
Yes, and Tony will go in for like a play or 2 or something.
Will Dak get benched?
No.
No. Okay.
Absolutely not. Who would bench that guy?
Jerry Jones.
That conversation with Dak and Romo is like on the level of Deflategate for me. It's just so annoying. It's like, this is so obvious. Stop talking about it. What are you doing? Find something else to talk about. Speaking of blunts, Denver, not very good against the run. I love LeGarrette Blount this week.
Prior to being cool.
Start it over. Welcome to Fantasy Hipster, the segment where I go over some players before they were cool. My first guy this week is obviously Robbie Anderson. He was on the segment last week. He did a great job. Petty's throwing to him. They're both backups. I think he's going to be another nice play going forward. My second guy is Dorial Green-Beckham. The Eagles are having trouble in the passing game. They're throwing a lot to their tight ends, and that's because Beckham's been hurt. So once Beckham gets back, I think he's going to get some nice targets, and maybe in the red zone too, and I think it's a guy you might want to roster. And then my third guy is Ronnie Hillman. If you're looking for like a deep dart throw in a 20-team league or a very deep league and you just need a start, I think that's an interesting guy because he has a big play capability. Farrow is the main guy there this week because of Melvin Gordon's injury, but I think he might be, Hillman might have a decent chance of breaking one. And then my last guy is Justin Forsett. He led the Broncos in carries last week with a very low number, but I like Forsett in a Kubiak system where he had a great season with the Ravens. A couple great seasons, actually. Justin Forsett, Fantasy Hipster, he's a good play.
You heard it here, folks. No. I don't like the way I said that. Do you have the balls? Ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 plays this week for you. First, we've got the return of Alshon Jeffrey against my favorite, the Green Bay Slackers. Alshon Jeffrey has been mediocre this season. Now, a good matchup against the Packers, but he's got a bad quarterback under center. That's why I say, do you have the balls to start Alshon Jeffrey in his first game back? Then we move on to the Jacksonville-Houston game. The 2 most frustrating players in fantasy football, Allen Robinson, DeAndre Hopkins. Their teams are going against each other. Do you have the balls to start them against each other? Last time they played, Allen Robinson had his only game over 100 yards. He had a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins did not do so hot, but he's got a great matchup. Do you have the balls to start A-Rob or Hopkins? And then lastly, A.J. Green might return this week. If he does, he is going to be slowed down a little bit because of that hamstring injury. He's got a matchup that is very good. Now here's the question. Is he going to be able to make a deep play downfield? We don't know. Do you have the balls to play A.J. Green in his return? And this week we have a special guest star on the show, Ian Anderson, joining us. Come on over, Ian.
He's not coming. All right, folks. That's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, subscribe though.
Tell your friends.
Tell your neighbors.
Tell your neighbors.
Tell your mother.
Tell your mother. Tell your father. Tell him. Tell her.
See you next week.
Thanks for watching.
Subscribe!